We continue with our coverage on our breaking news. The ISIS are taking the 46 Indian nurses in a bus towards Erbil airport. Sources at the Kerala Chief Minister's office has confirmed this news. The nurses will be handed over to officials near Erbil and then transported to the airport. 2 aircrafts, we believe, are on standby as well. Deputy Editor Rohini Swami joins me on the phone line. Rohini, you've been speaking to us over the last 15 minutes about this huge breaking news coming in. It's a breakthrough that we were not expecting so soon. Bring us the details.
Yes, Vedika, like you said, it is a breakthrough, and yes, the families are hoping that the nurses are transported safely towards Erbil airport. They have received a communication from the Kerala Chief Minister's office saying that they left Mosul around 12 o'clock in the afternoon from where they are. They've gone in a bus along with the ISIS, and what they have been given to understand is that they will be taken to the borders, they will be handed over to the Kurdish officials, and an Indian official is already waiting at the borders, and there will be a handover to the Indian officials. From there, they'll be taken to Erbil airport. The family members, obviously, silent prayer on the lips, because this is the first good news they have got in the last 1 month. It's absolute mental turmoil for them, because they would believe everything that the nurses say based on one phone call that was allowed to them. But now they're only hoping that once they reach Erbil airport, they will be able to communicate with their loved ones, and then they can be brought back and airlifted back into to India direct.
Yes.
I'm also told by the Kerala Chief Minister also will continue to remain in Delhi and receive all the nurses and then bring them back home.
Rohini, you have been speaking with the family members of these nurses. What was the last conversation one of them had with a nurse in Iraq?
Well, I have been speaking to the families, and what they have been saying is initially that the kind of situation they were put in, they were in a closed room, there were no lights, there was only air conditioning, they were provided some water, the bathroom facilities were not good. But also I'm here joined by Marina's father here in Kottayam. If I could quickly give him the phone, he would be also able to explain what is his last conversation with Marina.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Take us through what your last conversation with your daughter was.
Morning 10:30, she called to me. Facilities are wrong. AC also. Beds got. The terrorists wanted to them. You are ready to go airport. There was no light in their room. After that, sometimes before, they wanted to start within 5 minutes to go to the airport.
Yes. Also, if you could tell us the health of Marina and the other nurses, what did she have to tell you about their condition?
Hello?
Sir, my next question to you is, could you also tell us something about the condition of the nurses and your daughter? Are they safe? Are they healthy?
They are traveling by bus.
All right, and they're supposed to reach the Erbil airport how soon, sir?
To the border of the Iraq state, and the other state officials will receive them to India.
Yes, and have the ISIS militants been kind with them? Have they been treating them well? What does your daughter have to say about that?
Well, Vedika, at this point of time, what he says is that he's receiving another call, and they're only hoping that these single calls that they're getting from the Kerala Chief Minister's office or from the other families, that they will get some good news, or they will be able to contact them. As I speak right now, they are trying to contact Marina and try to call her on the phone, but that's the only point that they're making, that they can establish contact. They will be able to give confirmed reports as to where they have reached.
Also, Rohini, what has really changed in the last 12 hours? Because all of yesterday evening we were reporting on how these 46 Indian nurses had been moved out of the hospital. That's the last we heard from them. Their cell phones were switched off, and now we're getting news, and this is unexpected news, like I pointed out earlier, of them being escorted by the ISIS to the Erbil airport. So clearly there seems to be back channel talks that could have taken place.
Absolutely, Vedika. It's very clear for the simple reason that the developments in the last 12 hours have changed the course of this entire situation. Also, the amount of pressure that has been built up because the safety and security of the nurses was compromised for the simple reason they were taken at gunpoint away from Tikrit towards Mosul, and they were taken in a bus. But what we've been also given to understand, there have been back channel talks between the External Affairs Ministry of India. They have been talking to the Iraqi officials also. The ISIS also has been spoken to. What we've been told is there are certain kind of assurances that were made when the talks were taking place, that when they were being transported, that there will be no bombing around that area because they had to take the safe route towards the safe location they were taken. But one thing is for sure, the ISIS had taken them to an undisclosed location, but they seem to be doing things that possibly the Indian government could have possibly done. But at this point of time, the Indian government needs to step in, because this is that situation where now they can bring back the nurses. They have 2 aircrafts on standby. They can bring them back to India safely as soon as they hand it over to the Indian officials in Erbil.
All right, so if our viewers do remember, when the MEA spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin did speak to the media a few days ago, he did admit that yes, all channels of talks were open, the front door, the back door, all of that. So clearly there could be a possible angle of back channel talks that have taken place. Rohini Swami, we'll keep coming back to you for more. This is of course the big story that we're following here on Headlines today.